Welcome back to the Elise Surkoff podcast, where I help women in perimenopause and menopause thrive unapologetically from the inside out. Okay, today's episode, I am going to borrow from one of my mentors who doesn't even know she's my mentor, but that is Layla Hermosi. I know I talk about her a lot. I fangirl a little bit over her. But I really do look up to her in terms of business, leadership, and mentorship. And she said something once that I think she now puts on her Instagram everywhere, but she said it a long time ago. I wrote it down on my whiteboard, which is right here. I have said it in our community, and then our ladies in our Slack channel throw it down. They've made it their screensavers. They've made it their screensavers on the computer, on their phones. They put Post-it notes everywhere. And that is the line of fuck your feelings, follow the plan. Okay, let's dive in a little bit. This is so harsh. This goes against so much of the like, be gentle with yourself and understand what's going on. And I get it. And I'm going to get some hate because I was once on a women's health panel for menopause, and it was mostly dietitians and doctors. And I'm on this panel. And the panel ended with asking every member the question of, what advice would you have for someone who's going through menopause right now, perimenopause? And everybody is like, be gentle with yourself and, take long baths and relax more. And I was definitely the anomaly with the filthy mouth that definitely filtered my mouth. Because what I would have said was, fuck your fucking feelings and get your shit done, girl. But I didn't say that. I said, while I totally respect self-care, remember, self-care isn't a bubble bath. It's keeping a promise to yourself. I also want to say that at the end of the day, you've got to pull up your big girl pants and do the work you don't want to do. Oh, I know. You're going to hate hearing that from me because you're here to live unapologetically, but you're also here to really understand like what you need to do in order to get results. And I'm trying to show you and tell you that it's not easy. It is hard. And it's hard, but we've had to redefine it. And if you don't understand what the fuck I'm talking about there, go ahead and watch or listen to that past podcast. I'll link it below on redefining hard. So we knew it was going to be hard. We just didn't realize it was going to be this hard. So often I'll have clients say to me, everything was going so well until I went to the party. And then like Karen made her famous cheesecake and I had to have it. And she was pouring wine and I felt bad. So I had it. And then I woke up in the morning and I was like really tired. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to like sleep in. I'm going to skip my workout. And then, like I was hungry. So I just, I enjoyed my coffee and then I put some cream in it. And then, I had extra popcorn later in the afternoon because, I just had a really hard day. And then, oh my gosh, the next day, so-and-so, divorced from so-and-so. And it just made me think a lot. And oh my God, I just had this huge fight with my husband. And then we had a glass of wine. And then there's just so many excuses. And I'm not saying they're not good. I right now, today, have a lot of shit going on in my life. And it's really hard for me to fucking stick to my plan most of the time. But I do because I have big goals for myself. So it's kind of like this analogy I like to give. We don't stop parenting because it's hard or because we're tired. So I have a shirt that says can't adult today. And I love wearing this on weekends because it's kind of like a mind fuck for my kid. So my daughter will say to me, she thinks it's like, what did she call it? She said, I can't parent today. And she's like, oh, Merp, like you're not going to parent. And I'm like, no, I'm still going to parent. I'm still going to adult. Okay. Like I'm not going to clean up. I'm not going to like, make everyone crazy, but I love wearing that. But it's kind of like I say if you're a parent, you understand this. At no point can you just quit being a parent. So like as tired as you are, no matter what kind of day you've had, no matter how much shit gets thrown at you, no matter how little sleep you got, no matter how fucking exhausted you are, or how much you have to shit at that very moment, when your kid needs you, you're on. There's no break in parenting. There's no like, oh, I just don't feel like it today. And if you don't have kids, then you might not quite understand this need as well. But if you have animals, let's say, and your dog or your cat gets sick and you're like, have to take them to the vet, it's kind of like that same thing. At any given time, if my kid needs me, I am dropping everything. I don't care if I'm recording a podcast, if I'm on a sales call, if I'm working with a client, if I'm working with my team, if I have a blood sugar issue with Owen, I'm dropping everything and I'm going. If my kid is stranded somewhere, back in the day when I would get a call from school saying your kid is sick, I remember once I got a call from the school that my middle kid, Nate, had a massive fever like an hour after I dropped him off. This kid, I swear to God, was fine. And then like hours later, he broke out in this crazy fever. It ended up being like a crazy throat infection and ear infection, and it came out of nowhere. And I was like, I got to go pick up my kid, right? Just like once I got a call, Owen was throwing up at nursery. This was the very first and only, hopefully, I'm going to knock on wood, time I've had to take him to the emergency room with diabetes. That kid was throwing up. I couldn't keep him conscious. Like nothing else matters in this moment. Fuck my feelings. I'm sticking to the plan of parenting, right? The laws of society are that like I throw myself in front of a bus for my kid. I will do anything in this world for my children, right? And so you have to kind of look at that type of drive or that kind of want for your goal. And if you don't, then chances are your goal isn't strong enough. So if you're someone that's like, I just want to lose weight for the summer, that's not a very strong goal, because when the shit gets hard and you're tired and you're hungry and you've had a hard day and you want to lean on food, you might not care so much if you're not in the best quote unquote shape in the summer. If your bathing suit doesn't fit the way you want it to, you might think, okay, so I'll wear a cover up, or you know what, like my husband loves me the way I am anyways, or like all my friends are fat too, so it doesn't matter. Like however you want to say it, fine. But if you're someone like me or like the women that we work with, and chances are you are because you're listening to this podcast, where you want more for yourself. So like when I was on this menopause panel, I am like, you're not my demographic of women. You're the women that, and I say this with love, but you're coming up with so many excuses as to why not do the things that you want to do. So like I sat on that panel and I said, like, you got to just pull up your big girl pants and do the work you don't want to do. You're going to have to do it even when you don't want to. And that sucks and it's hard. And you can have a silent temper tantrum to yourself. You still have to fucking show up for yourself. You got to fuck your feelings and stick to the plan. Fuck your feelings and follow your plan. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to not sleep well. And like, I was talking, remember once to a client, and she was like, she told me 3 days in a row, she was just quote unquote being kind to herself. She was sleeping in, she was staying out late, she was leaning on alcohol, she was meeting her friends for lunch. And while she was meeting her friends for lunch, she was drinking and eating more because she felt that she needed that social interaction. And I just said to her, again, I'm going to shine a mirror at you and say, hey girl, the reason why you don't look the way you want to look and you're not getting the results as you want to get is because you're not fucking doing the work. You're not sticking to the plan. You're letting your feelings and your emotions take over. And this is a very alpha female way of saying things. I recognize that I'm an alpha female, and that there's a lot of you out there listening that is like, oh my God, she's crazy. I don't want that. And that's fine. All right. But there's a lot of women out there who are in their 50s and 60s, and they're looking the best they've ever looked, the strongest they've ever looked, the most mobile they've ever been, the most confident in their body they've ever been, the most sexual, all the things that they want, because they show up no matter what. Now, if you cannot stick to your plan, if you're like, Elise, I'm fucking trying, but the plan is hard, then you need a new plan. That is just what I'm going to say. If your plan is unrealistic, it's not working for you, no matter what you do, you can't stick to it, you need a new plan. Like if you're intermittent fasting and you're like, I fucking love breakfast. Or if you're like, I'm going to not have carbs ever again and you just can't do it. Or I'm never going to have sugar again and you can't fucking do that either because everybody loves sugar. So why stay away from it for the rest of your life? Find a new fucking plan. And if you're like, I don't know, Elise, there's so much information out there. This person's telling me don't do this. This person's telling me not to do that. The answer to any question of what should I do should always forever be, it depends. And if whoever you're working with is not saying that to you, find another person, find another coach, find another trainer, find another accountability buddy, because every single person is different. And you, my girl, are physiologically unique. So your plan is going to look different than my plan. In our group, in our FFW community, our program, our 90-day for function hormonal renewal is fully customized for this reason. No two people in the program have the same exact program because everybody's fucking different. You have someone like me who's go, 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 high stress all the time, who needs to learn how to chill the fuck out and do less for activity. And then I have someone else who's never lifted weights before, and we're beginner step one, and we have to learn how to do more. So we're all going to be a little bit different. But at the end of the day, you have to find the right plan and then fuck your feelings and stick to them, just like you would if you were parenting. Think of it like that. Or, you were dog lover, dog mama. Think of it the same way. All right. I hope I didn't piss you off too much. I'm here to keep it real. But go ahead and leave me a message. I'll leave all the links below if you want to grab a freebie. I'll drop my website link as well that you can grab those. And as always, if you could just do me a solid and share this episode with someone who really needs to hear this, I would love for you to do that. Go ahead and tag me on social. It keeps the podcast growing, and I really appreciate you listening. And if you want to see me get really heated and angry on YouTube, then go ahead and watch this on YouTube. Until the next time.